Good morning, everyone. Today is a Hasidic holiday called Yutes Kislev, the day that the founder of Chabad Hasidism, the Alter Rabbi of Scheiner of Liadi, the author of the Tanya and the Shulchan Aruch, was liberated from Tsarist Russia prison for spreading the teachings of Hasidut. You know, someone once said, watch your thoughts because your thoughts will eventually become your words. Watch your words because your words will eventually become your actions. Watch your actions because your actions will eventually become your habits. Watch your habits because your habits will eventually become your character. And watch your character because your character will eventually become your destiny. The Alter Rabbi in his book in Tanya, one of the fundamental principles that he expresses is how to control your thoughts. Because if you could control your thoughts, you could control your entire life. And one of the fundamental principles he lays down is the idea of moach shalat al alev, that the mind has the power and the ability to control the heart. You know, there's temptation all around us. I think it was Oscar Alva Helms who said that I could resist anything except temptation. We live in a world filled with temptation. And that's why we see people following their negative impulses, desires, temptations. We have a drug problem, opioid problems, because people allow themselves to go after their desires. And Alter Rebbe's book is so relevant for our generation because it talks about how to control ourselves, self-control, self-mastery. This week's parsha we have the story of Joseph, who's tempted by the wife of his master, an 18-year-old boy far away from home, and his master's wife wants to be intimate with him. And it says, Vayima'ain, he rejects her. And when it says he rejects her, it is a shalshelas, which goes like this, Vayima'ain. So rabbis say, why is this rear note of 3 times, Vayima'ain, under the word, and he says no to her? And he's thrown into prison for rejecting, and goes to prison for 12 years in Egypt as a result. Now rabbis say, you know, the mistake we make sometimes is when we have temptation, we start rationalizing with it. On the one hand, on the other hand, maybe yes, maybe not. The minute we start rationalizing with our temptations, when we know something is wrong, we've already lost the battle. We have to state emphatically no, like Joseph said 3 times, no, 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 meaning to say, I reject it, out of hand. Only after he says no to her does he tell her why, because your master trusted me with everything in his house, how can I betray him? If you start with the rationalizations, you'll lose the battle. That's why one of the things the Alter Rebbe says is, when you have a negative thought, push it away with 2 hands. What does he mean with 2 hands? Sometimes we push away the negative thought with 1 hand, but then on the other hand, we start rationalizing with it. And therefore the negative thought keeps on coming back, because it knows eventually it could win us over and persuade us. We have to push it away with 2 hands and say, this is immoral, this is unethical, I won't do it. Absolutely, emphatically, the answer is no. And that's the way we win the battle over the immoral desires and temptations. And you know, they tell a story about this rich man who says to this poor man, come with me, we'll go out to eat in a restaurant. So the poor man says, great, the rich man, he's taking me out to eat, I'll have a good time. So he keeps on ordering everything on the menu, he's having a great time. Towards the end of the meal, the rich man says, listen, you know, I got to step out for a minute, I'll be right back. And he steps out, he leaves the poor man at the table. Doesn't show up, he doesn't return. The waiter comes with the bill, and this poor man is left with the bill. And same thing is with the Yetzer Hara. The Yetzer Hara is like the rich man who says, come, I'll have a good time, life will be good, follow my desires, my temptations, my lusts, my passions. And then, in the last minute, he leaves you hanging, he takes off, and you have to pay the bill. You have to pay the price for following the lusts and the desires of your heart, the immoral impulses. And therefore we have to realize that he's not our friend, and he doesn't seek our well-being, and therefore the only answer to the evil inclination, the Yetzer Hara, as the Alter Rebbe says, push him away and reject him with 2 hands.